What's going on, everyone? It's the Progressive Conservative, but you can call me Bailey. Why do I call myself the Progressive Conservative? Because I believe we can make progress through the conservation of our liberal values and other values that we've had in society. Today, I'm going to be reacting to this fat phobia trend in fat phobia TikTok. It is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Now, this lady, I don't believe she's dumb, but I believe some of the ideas she is portraying and talking about obviously are dumb. I don't attribute it though to any one individual. So let's get right to it. Before we begin, I'm just gonna quickly read what she's reacting to. So it's a comment saying, "Maybe I work out because I have been bullied and ashamed for my weight, and I want to make a change." All right, let's address that first, real quick. So, if you've been bullied, I'm very, very sorry. No one should be bullied because of their weight. Unfortunately, it is a reality. There are mean people out there. But bullying and that judgment from others, I will say, can be a very powerful motivator for oneself. Now, it also does obviously give negative emotions that aren't good for an individual, and I think people still would be better off without bullying, but I recognize that there is a reality we live in where there will be bad people. And yeah, it's good to want to make a change for any reason, as long as it's a change towards better health. Let's get going though and actually listen to her TikTok. I will be pausing and addressing each point kind of one by one.
If you decided to work out in order to change your body's appearance to avoid weight stigma, that is still fat phobia.
Okay, you decide to work out to change your appearance. That's fat phobia. So, can you work out for any reason? If you decide to do literally anything to better your appearance, is that fat phobia?
Fat people can be fat phobic. Skinny people can be fat phobic. I'm fat phobic.
Okay, fat people can be fat phobic, skinny people can be fat phobic, and she is fat phobic. So everyone basically is fat phobic, and the very, of course, end, she goes, "I am fat phobic," because this is, of course, a virtue signal. She has to show that she is an ally, and she is a good person, and that she is woke and recognizing that she is a fat phobic person, because
And it's no one's fault. We are conditioned to hate fat people.
it's no one's fault we are conditioned to hate fat people. I completely disagree with that opinion. To say we are conditioned to hate fat people. You can maybe argue it is in our DNA, and by that is a biological conditioning, but the reason behind it, let's think about this for a minute, because it's a very broad statement to say we are conditioned to hate fat people. I believe that, yes, there of course is a body image ideal that we want to achieve as human beings, both male and female, but let's talk about in this condition, because I think she's addressing more female. You never really hear people be like, "Oh, like there's fat phobia towards guys," maybe if they're really trying to make the point, but it's mostly women saying that there's fat phobia against bigger women. I think that women tend to think that men who are fat phobic, the only ideal they can think of is the skinniest of models, which is completely not true. There's an ideal image of a woman, and it is a very wide range, and I think almost every man will recognize that if you fit in this range, and each body, like, is capable of fitting that range of attractiveness when it comes to just general health, because that's what humans are attracted to. If you can be looked at and be like, "Wow, you're a healthy looking person who would be capable of having and protecting a child," because that is what we are. We're animals, and we are animalistic, and whether we like it or not, we are prone to thinking that way a little bit. The reason we are driven towards and think about sex so much, and ooh, I said the word, is because we're thinking about, all right, is this person capable of giving me an offspring, and would they be capable of protecting said offspring and me afterwards? Or if you're a man, typically it's more, can I protect this person? Because, oh, there's also differences between men and women. And yes, because men, on average, tend to be bigger and stronger, I think they fit the role of protector more often than not. Not saying gender roles have to exist, but there's a reason that they were around for millennia before we broke them down in America, because we had a society capable of doing so. Let's get back to this.
If that's why you started and that's why you're still going, then cool, great for you. Working out.
If that's why you started and that's why you're going, cool, great for you. Okay, so she's happy at least that these people are going, but it's kind of that backhanded, cool, great for you.
It's still really good for you, no matter the reason. But I hope one day you learn to love fitness for the actual health benefits, like for your heart and your joints and your muscles, not just because you look a certain way.
Okay, so she does actually hit on points I agree with there. When it comes to working out, there's benefits way beyond just vanity and looking good. The best benefits are longevity, in my opinion. We're going to be here for a very long time, and it's good for your joints and every single aspect of your body, your bone density, your muscle growth. Working out and being an active person with both resistance training and cardio, which is basically weightlifting, resistance to your muscles, and cardio, working your heart, and just running, or moving, of course. These things are always going to be just good for you no matter what. No one is going to deny that. But to say it is fat phobic if you want to work out to change your appearance, that is as good a reason as any. You know how many times, I will admit, in my younger life, the biggest reason I changed was because of women. I was like, looking around and saw a lot of attractive women dating men who were more attractive than me. I said, what can I do to change that? Maybe I could work out and become more attractive to women. Did it work? Well, I'm still single, so who hell knows, but the point being, it is a fine reason, at a young age especially, to say, I'm just gonna work out. I don't think it is fat phobic. I think it is healthy. I think a good parent and a good adult around them should also tell them about the other benefits that come and why you should not be so vain, especially because the thing with vanity is you'll get to that point relatively quickly where you are very satisfied with your body, but you need a reason to keep going, and that can be the hardest thing to motivate yourself, and that's why you need to understand all the other benefits that comes with it, along with the mental benefits. But it's not fat phobia, and it's this really awful society we're creating where everything is fat phobia if you want to change yourself, because it's really just about having preferences and prejudices. What is the difference between saying I like something and I dislike something? You can't have a like without a dislike. Have you ever heard of A Brave New World? It is a book, kind of like 1984, one of these dystopian novels. I've never read it, but one of the core tenets, if I have the books correct, is this idea that it is bad to have a prejudice. And so, if someone is to ask you for favors of the adult kind, you have to say yes, because it's prejudice to say no. And I feel like that's kind of what we're getting at in society a little bit with this fat phobia. Now, obviously I'm being hyperbolic, and it's not to the point where you have to sleep with anyone because of this idea that you must do it out of a prejudice that you're not allowed to have. But saying you're not allowed to like someone or want to change your appearance, or you know what, hold your partner to a standard and say, I want us to both be fit. If you're going to hold someone to a standard, you also have to be willing to have them hold you to that standard as well. So it should never go one way. But both people should be like, we have a standard, because being attractive and fit and healthy and not fat is good for us, and it's not fat phobic. I'm going to end up with that. If you like the video, please like the video. If you want to watch more, maybe consider subscribing. Thank you all. I'm Progressive Conservative, Orchid Bailey, signing off.